so much control over it, even if it doesn't feel like we do. Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Rikki and you're here watching Real with Rikki. So welcome, this is the first video I've ever made, and the reason why is because I think I was so scared not to make them, but I've wanted to do this for ages. But anyway, I'm here vibing really good energy. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited that you're joining me. So here with Real Rikki, it's going to be talking about, my whole channel will be about growth, lifestyle, mindset, spirituality. So a whole bunch of other things that kind of really the core thing is growth. So growth in spirituality, growth in mindset, growth in relationships, growth in you and your being, which I'm so unbelievably passionate about. Today, for the first video, I wanted to talk about something in particular that was really close to my heart because I've lived this so wholly. So I want to talk about being on the wrong path and the right path. And that can be to do with anything with relationships, jobs, where you are, where you live, what you do, your friends, so many different things, your hobbies. It could be related to anything. So I wanted to talk about that and the importance of it. The importance of accepting it, taking control of it and what to do, because at the end of the day, we are in control of our life and we can blame other people and we can say other things, but it's not true at all whatsoever. Sorry, hate to hurt your feelings if I did, but I'm going to be the truth here. It's really something you have control over. So a little bit about myself was, so I joined the army when I was 18 and sorry, I could just hear my puppy, I think, or my husband, either or other. And I joined the army when I was 18. I was in the army for near 7 years. Throughout my time in the army, I definitely had some, I'm also Aussie, so Australian Army. I had some really highs, like loving it. But unfortunately, my experience was I had a lot of lows. And I kind of matched that with my personality and me growing as a person with the type of job that I was doing. Also being a female and all these other things. I have a very strong-willed personality. I'm an alpha female and all these other things that people want to label you with. And what ended up happening was overall I was kind of miserable, miserable most of the time. I also didn't have awareness of control and that I had control over my happiness. But one of the things that I strived for the entire time I was in the military was to get to what is called Kapuka, which is our basic training to be a recruit, to be in the army. And I wanted to instruct there. So I worked for years to get there. I got told so many times that it wasn't going to be achievable and all these other things, which will be another video that I definitely want to talk about, goals and whatnot. But what ended up happening was I manifested it. It was amazing. I did it without even kind of realizing what I was doing, but I got there. And there were so many aspects of this job that I loved. Like if my recruits ever watch this, I loved teaching you. I loved instructing. I loved watching people come in something that they literally did not resemble it on the way out. Like once they had become a soldier, like so many of my recruits really struggled with self-image, or like they were self-sabotaging. They had no confidence, and a lot of it was because they'd been told that they weren't capable, which is another thing we'll talk about again as well. But what I realized in that time so much was I wanted this job so bad, and I wanted this job because I wanted to help people, and that was realistically it. I wanted to help people, and how I could do that in the army was by instructing. And my mind was so restricted, and that's saying that I could only help people in the army because I never really thought outside. So I got there, loved helping people, but there were so many parts of the job that I just really struggled with. I really struggled with. And I really struggled because I was coming true to my identity and who I am, and as a person, as a strong woman, and I was just, my happiness was being out, like the unhappy was outweighing the happy, and it just got really bad. So my now husband also was kind of in that same boat, and you know, we both decided that it got to the point that we were like, no, we've been in an organization and a kind of environment and a world, a society that's told us that we have to do certain things our entire life, and we identify we were on the wrong path. Like, we were in the wrong job. We were not doing what we wanted in life. So what we did was, like, no one expected it. It happened so quickly, and we were so determined, and again, we totally manifested it. We literally put in our discharge, said, that's it, sorry, thank you for everything you've taught us, but we're done. We're leaving as soon as possible, and we're taking our life back and our family back to, we're aligning back to what we believe in. And, you know, we definitely ruffled some feathers, but the whole thing that I'm getting at here is we rustled feathers because we took control, okay? And so I'm sure there's so many people here in this world, and maybe most of us, I guess, like, our society tells us we have to do things, we have to do a job, we have to. In Australia, you quite often, you go to primary school, you go to high school. In high school, you start picking your subjects. When you're in year 10, you're like 15 or 16, you pick your subjects for school that you want to do for uni. Who knows what they want to do at 18 for the rest of their life? Also, who has to do one thing for the rest of their life? I don't know, but apparently we get told we have to do that. And so what the biggest thing here is like, we're told our entire life we have to do something. So I got told in the army I had to do this, I had to do this. I was in a very yes man, yes ma'am, yes sir kind of environment. And my big head of dreams and desires and wants and all this, I wanted more, was too much. How dare I? And what I found was that once we took that control back and going, sorry, but this is what we want and this is what we're going to have because we're deserving, it really ruffled a lot of people's feathers, because I think they were scared of taking control. Like, they were scared of it, or they were envious. I don't know. It's very complicated, but with all of it, what I learned so much about myself, and I learned so much about the universe and about this one miraculous life we live, and that we have so much control over it, even if it doesn't feel like we do. Like, it feels like we have to wake up in the morning, go to this 9-to-5 job, we have to study this, we have to do this. If we're a mum or a dad, we can only be parents, we can't do the things we want, and that's not true. I think we need to empower ourselves again, to give ourselves the control back, to literally hand over the baton and go, there we go, it was always yours, but you just need to find it. And how I now in retrospect look at it and go, okay, well, how do we do this? So how? Cool. We need to take control. We need to acknowledge first. We firstly need to acknowledge whether we are on the right path, in the right job, in the right relationship, in the right friendships. Do I like my hair the way it is? I used to straighten my hair every single day because I felt that I had to for other people. And now I just embrace my curls. It's the acknowledgement of the truth, and not the truth of what we are programmed to think by other people or told or our friends or our family or anything like that. It's what we feel in our hearts and our stomachs and our intuition, our gut feeling. Do you believe, and are you on the right path? Are you in the right job? Are you doing the right things? Are you being true to the one and most important person that counts? You. And that's the first step. And actually, I think I was gonna say I think this is a scary step. I don't think this is a scary step. I think this is the hardest, because there's a lot of vulnerability within yourself. Like, we so often want to be in denial, and we want to put our self defense mechanisms, that's the word I'm looking for. I totally study a Bachelor of Psychology. That's funny that I can't even use my words. That we put self defense mechanisms in, and we go, no, block it out, don't want to talk about it. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing because I'm comfortable doing it, even though I'm miserable. So that's why it's I think one of the hardest, is because you're breaking, like, scientifically, like, we have all these neural pathways in our brain of like these little electric pathways, and the more we do something, the stronger they get. And it doesn't matter if it's good or bad for us, they're still going to get stronger. So if we're doing something that's not good for our soul and our being, it's going to get stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger, and then we're so comfortable doing it even though it's miserable. So that's why it's the hardest, because you've got to break it. You've got to break that and be honest with yourself. The Next thing is then I really think is going, okay, even in an environment or a moment of where you're going, oh, I don't feel in control, there are totally things that you can take control of to make a drastic change. Our mindset, how we think is literally in our, like, we literally decide. So, but in saying that, again, those neural pathways, we're getting stronger and stronger and stronger if we're thinking the wrong way. So if we're self-sabotaging, if we're thinking negatively about our self-image, or that I'm not deserving of a better job because I'm not capable, or I'm not deserving of a loving partner because this is as good as it's going to get, well, then we're going to keep concreting that into us. It's going to get harder and harder. But we can sit there and go, okay, so say, for example, I am miserable in my job and I don't love my job, but what can I do right now that can help this situation? So it could be a few things, I guess. You could sit there and say that you can take control over your interactions with people at work. So you can sit there and you can force yourself until it becomes natural to be nice to everyone and just try to create a wholesome, loving environment even in the workplace, because connection is something that so often we are deprived of and we want. Whether in such a world of full of technology, hear everyone talk about this. We have connection everywhere through technology, but we have so much disconnect. So much. And this COVID-19 pandemic has literally demonstrated how we physically need people in our life to feel whole. We are humans. We are animals of connection. It's phenomenal. So you could sit there and you can go, okay, I can control my interactions with someone else. I can't control how they respond to me, but I can control my interaction with them. And at the end of it, it's going to make you feel better as long as you choose to. Another thing is, like, you can choose to have a goal to leave that job. So that goal, then what do you need to do? If I want to change jobs and I want to work so I'm a baker and I really, really, really want to be a scientist. I want to be a scientist. How do I get there? Okay, I need to study a degree, or maybe I need to do this, or I need to just apply for a job. That is control. You are making change. You're taking action. And with that action brings happiness, because you know that you're going, oh, okay, I am in control. I might not be in control necessarily of the outcome just yet, but that's totally another video, because realistically you're totally in control. So you need to then go, what am I going to do? What am I going to change? Little things. It could be big things. Like, I literally quit my job, and I quit my job with the intent of, yes, going to another workplace. And I got to that workplace and I realized that wasn't for me either. And I was like, you know what I really want to do? I want to be my own boss. Simple as that. It's not as simple as that, but I want to be my own boss, and it's going to be hard work to get there, but it's achievable, and that's what's going to make me the happiest. So we identify, we acknowledge whether we are happy or we are not happy, or we're on the right path or the wrong path, and what the whole situation. We need to be honest with ourselves. We need to talk about it with other people. We need to, when you give things like that in situations of words and power, you're taking away the power, that chain of it around your leg or your arm, and you're actually going, no, I'm not happy. When you talk about mental health and you talk about the pathway and trajectory of your life, you're giving yourself power and taking the power away from the societal structures. And then the last thing I say is, you need to also acknowledge what you're grateful for in the moment. So acknowledge what you can change and make steps, but also acknowledge what you're grateful for, because I'm sorry, but there's always things that you can, actually, I'm not even sorry. There's always things you can be grateful for. I'm grateful for the shirt that I'm wearing, the sun that is shining, the wind that is blowing, the rain that is storming right now massively in Australia, in Queensland. And I'm so grateful for all those things. Like, I was laying in bed this morning, one of the things I wrote down in my gratitude journal was, I'm grateful for the rain. And then the second thing I wrote for was, I'm grateful for the shelter I have over my head to protect me from that weather. And if we start practicing gratitude, we change our entire mindset of that scenario. So again, giving us control and then empowering us to make a difference. And I don't want to sit here and say that every situation is like, they're all different, and I am not sitting there saying like it's the be and end all and everything's gonna work out exactly as you imagine if you take control, because sometimes it takes a lot longer, and sometimes it's a process, but through that process there's so much we can be grateful for. But as long as we're looking back in retrospect and looking back in the future, then we can focus on where we want to be. But the biggest thing then, again, I guess overarching all of that is you need to know what is going to be the right path, what is going to make you happy. If you're just willy-nilly going, oh, I'm not happy in this job, so I'm going to quit this job, so I'm going to quit this job, I'm going to keep going through, and no, just identify. Like, and sometimes it's hard work because, you know, we have so many choices in life, but we need to identify. If we don't identify if we don't identify what we want in life, then like you can't be whinging. Like you're whinging, or I shouldn't say whinging, you're complaining and you're identifying negative sides of things that you don't even have the answer to. So you need to be accountable. You need to show up. If you've heard of Brené Brown, my girl, she is a role model in my life that had like literally like a light switch, changed my perspective, my mindset. And she talks about being in the arena. Be vulnerable, stand up and go, oh, okay, I'm not happy, but I don't even know what happiness is because I have never thought about it. So I want to highlight that if you're not happy in something, in an environment, in a relationship, in whatever it may be, take control. Take control and take it back, because it's no one else's life but your own. And sometimes we make these imaginary chains on us and we think we have to do things because our family want us to, our friends want us to, our job, society, our culture. It doesn't matter. We have control and we are the ones actually putting the chains on ourselves. I want you all to be living on the path that you want to be living on. And it's going to be difficult, but if we keep pushing and growing and stretching, then we can totally all achieve it. So that's my little blurb, a little bit of talk about pathways. And I think it's so important you need to be accountable. Be accountable. Think about it first. Are you actually happy? Don't make stuff up, okay? Just be honest with yourself. And if you're happy, then you're happy. And that's amazing. That's so good. And when I say happy, I mean like you're genuinely happy. You might have down days and that's fine. That's normal. We're human. But are you genuinely happy? And if not, let's do something about it. Alright, again, thanks guys for watching. If you haven't done already, subscribe. Make sure you like this video and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!